All eyes on the prize right now, and it's going to be absolutely no different as we set our sights on side of the arena here in Malmö for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters 2019. The arena is getting ever so much closer. For two of these teams, it's going to be Optic and NaVi that are going to be trying to dig their claws into it. A best-of-3 winners match is on us, and it's going to be Group B that it comes from. My name being Trace Saranthus. Welcome back, everybody, to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. Let's catch up with the guys on the desk right now. It's going to be Chad Burchill, it's going to be Jacob Vinica, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Counter-Strike. Guys, are you ready?
Oh, I came prepared for a Dota segment.
Yeah, I thought it was Fortnite, so.
Oh, well, you guys are both wrong, and in which case, I can't help you.
Okay.
But what I can tell you is that the current group that we are in has been a pretty tumultuous one. It's been pretty much full of turmoil, but before we do that, perhaps we take a little bit of a B-Stream update. It's currently 15-6 via Liquid.
That's what I'm talking about. And if Stewie can get back to just being the boss of that team and yelling a lot and getting them hyped and just getting it done, then Liquid could be back and we might actually get an Australis Liquid game in this tournament. But B, unfortunately for this bracket, doesn't actually stand for bad, even though that's the way that it currently looks. Because NaVi are the only ones who can save me right now from having a completely disappointing upper bracket.
I mean, the upper bracket, that's got to be a misprint, right? Greyhound versus Nip? What happened?
I mean, there was a few surprises yesterday. I think the biggest one for me is actually the fact that NIP were able to beat Mousesport 16-9. That was not even competitive, dare I say. At one point, it seemed like they were trying to make a mini comeback, but NIP seemed to be by far the better team. And as we saw today, Mousesports just took down EG 2-0. So I don't know how much to put into that game. Is that NIP all of a sudden returning to playing Counter-Strike at a relatively high level, or was that just a one-off for Mousesports yesterday where basically a best of one was all it took to take them down? Not too sure about it, but the fact of the matter is we have NIP going up against Greyhound, and I don't think anyone expected that.
No one had expected that, but what I am expecting a pretty good matchup out of is Optic versus NaVi, which is what we're going to be covering over here on our end. Now, a lot of different things to talk about and consider when it comes to these two teams. We touched a little bit on what is not a Spinseer yesterday. Let's talk a little bit about Optic.
Yeah, so Optic is a bit of a curious one, right?
Sure.
Because obviously the Danes, they're like the third string at this point. I guess you could even argue with Heroic in there and organizationally, who knows where they're at. Oh yeah, I guess. The Danes, they're so deep of talent, isn't it? It's just wild. But the point here is that this Optic roster, they always have the fundamentals when MSL's in charge, right? And you know that Cage, you know that Config, Nico as well, they've been around him for a long enough period of time that they function well, and then they brought in this new kid. How do we say his name properly?
I'd say Tessus.
Shouldn't you know?
I don't know, man.
He's too new.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, man.
All right. I just thought the Dane might have an idea.
Yeah, I would have thought so too. I mean, he is our resident Dane. We are having a bit of a tug-of-war, and right now there's a real chance for the the Danish, the Danes, to put another one on the board for themselves here between them and Sweden.
I think it's going to be extremely hard, though, because I do agree with you. Optic, they're supposed to be the third, fourth best Danish teams, right? They're supposed to be a team that can go toe-to-toe against some of the best teams in the world. Maybe not the top 5, right? But at least around top 10, top 15. That's where they should be. But Optic have been nothing but a disappointment so far. I mean, it's been lackluster with the results. I know what you said about MSL, and I totally agree with you. Normally, he gets the best out of his teammates, but Cajun is a guy that for a long, long time, he hasn't really found his place in any team. He's still performing relatively, well in terms of individual performance, but he hasn't found success within a team. Config is a guy that, 2 years ago, we rated him to be one of the best riflers in the world and one of the most outspoken riflers, at least on Twitter. Now, coming into this one, he hasn't been playing well either. So there's a lot of talent on this lineup. We just haven't seen it flourish in a long time, and that's why, to me, Optic is a little bit disappointing. So hopefully, this could be the tournament where they turn it all around.
Jacob, if I say Cajun, what do you say?
A.
Jesus Christ. All right, dude, whatever. We got a video coming up right now. Again, a best of 3. Something to consider here is that a lot of different looks will go into preparing for this matchup. Yeah,
well, we don't really know what NaVi have changed, right? I would assume that Blade's going to come in and play a similar map pool for these guys.
Sure.
But for Optic, look, they play quite a lot of the maps, right? They had a lot of success against Liquid yesterday, which could have been another factor like we're talking about, day one, best of ones. Yeah. We've had a lot of discussions about this, right? But, Jacob, MSL and DreamHack Masters, there's something in the water, isn't there?
There's a little bit of a history, right? Last time around, he was the MVP, I believe, in Stockholm, where
they won.
What happened right after he got that MVP?
I think he had a week celebrating he was the MVP, then he went to a minor qualifier, bummed out, and got kicked out of the team. So it was a little bit of a little bit of a rough period for him, but he did play relatively well. And in the first game today as well, or yesterday he was playing some of the best Counter-Strike I've seen MSL play ever. He posted a 1.81 rating
overpass straight.
On overpass with the AWP, something you don't normally see coming out of the guy on the screen right here doing some
he's being
meditation.
consoled right now. It looks like he's being consoled. But then again, you got to think about the maps that are being vetoed.
Yeah.
Right? So now we can talk about the maps that have been picked.
No
and that's
surprise.
Take a look at.
Vertigo out of the window, Inferno out of the window now. As for the picks, I'd be surprised if we don't see a nuke in the mix.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense, right? Because the Danes tend to... Yeah, great call there, Jacob. I was surprised that... well, I wasn't surprised that NaVi didn't go with Overpass because of the success yesterday that that MSL and Co had. Them going to Dust2, that wasn't one that worked when Zeus was on the team. Sure. But now, they don't necessarily have a massive gap in their CT side, right? Yeah. And I really loved what I saw yesterday from NaVi. I am going to go out on a limb. I'm going to do a Jason Moses O'Toole. I'm 100% positive that these guys will be in the arena. They're going to win this game today. And then the last map will be Overpass, which is the middle ground that they both played yesterday. Now, Nuke will be the real test for NaVi. How much practice, how much have they actually gotten done since Guardian has joined this team? Yeah. Because not that they're a bad Nuke team, it's just that they never had the same understanding. They would get through by going in and maybe breaking things as opposed to having the finesse of the rotation.
And that's the thing, right?
That's the execute.
Because they're facing a team who have that fundamental understanding. I think Optic is a lineup that has everything they need in order to be a good team. They just need the talent to show up and actually perform at the highest level, especially when you're considering what players they're facing, right? Symbol back on his old mouse, back with a birthday today, you know.
He's back on the old mouse.
He's back on the old mouse,
Thank God.
Thank God. That wasn't looking too good. So there's a lot of skill, you know, within this NaVi lineup. And if these guys on screen right here needs to compete with that, you need to see Config in a top shape. You need to see Cajun pull off a 2016 performance. And then for Nico, I mean, we haven't seen him play well in quite some time as well. So there's a lot, you know, that has to go up in a higher end here, Trace.
I was just outside where Config was telling me that somebody was about to have a bad birthday.
Oh, well, he always likes a bit of smack talk.
I love it. That was the old Config. We haven't seen that in so long.
Well, no, it still exists. He just never gets to play in the tournaments to actually smack talk enough. So that seems to be more of the problem for these guys, right? But there is a lot of talent on this team that it never clicks at the same time. That's the point. It never clicks at the same time. Now, you compare it to, if you go pound for pound with NaVi, let's be honest, they don't have anywhere near the same amount of firepower. They don't have anywhere near the same amount of experience. But Config at one point in his career was an absolute beast, right? You have to look at this guy. Back when he was with the team with Magisk, obviously MSL was in there too. It was those two. They were carries. But he hasn't been able to find the consistency to get this working time and time again. So the potential's there. We've seen it before. Will it come out today? Probably not.
Yeah, but there's something about MSL, CORSAIR DreamHack Masters, and some sort of magic. You can't call it magic, I guess, because Nip's got that under control.
I mean, we just took a look at his event list, you know, on lane in terms of rating, and there's a lot of red in there. You know, he's basically, I wouldn't say underperforming. He's performing to the best of his ability, but that so just happens to be, you know, in the red for the majority of the time. Now, he's had the MVP title at the MVP Stockholm, you know. That was pretty well played by him. He had the Las Vegas one where there was an infamous quote about him.
He changed his sensitivity.
Changed sensitivity. Coming into the tournament, played some of the best Counter-Strike we ever seen himself play. So there's nothing that makes sense in that general, right? That's why I'm willing to say here that I expect a competitive game, despite everything tells me that this should be a blowout by NaVi.
Well, hold on now. That NaVi side, we need to kind of touch on what NaVi is. We got Boomich, we've got Guardian, Flamey, Simple Electronic. And my goodness, this is a pretty stacked lineup from the outside looking in. What do we think about them so far, other than the fact that they've gotten a good start here?
This is the next top 5 team in the world right here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully so. Hopefully they can push towards that limit. I still want Liquid and EG to continue to, you know, stay up in those realms. I don't want it to dip away too far. But the individual skill on this roster, and this man right here, at one point someone asked him, you know, does he think he could be as good as Simple? He said he thinks he could be better. Now, we haven't seen that just yet, but in terms of a rifler, in terms of some of the aggression towards the end of Zeus's tenure on the team, him sitting in smokes, you know, him really heavy on the entry frags, you can see them trying different roles. But this guy right here, we've spoken about it with almost every member on the team, has been handpicked at some point by Blade, who is now coaching them. If they can get even, I don't know, 90% out of Electronic every day of the week, 90% out of Simple every day of the week.
They don't really need much else.
Mate, you should be winning 90% of your games at that point.
I just love to look at a lineup and think to myself, who's supposed to be the weak link of this lineup, right? Boomich is the in-game leader. Let's give him some time to sort of nurture into that role and figure out whatever that's something for him. But if the weak link on NaVi is supposed to be Flamey, if he's supposed to be the worst performing player, I'd take that any given day, right? That's how crazy this lineup is. So I think there's a lot of skill. I think there's so much potential within this lineup. And I do believe that had Simple not played on the same team with Electronic, he would be up there in the discussion for being one of the best players in the world. Question is, can Blade and can Boomich get them all to work together in a synergy? that's going to be the tough part, right? And we haven't seen it yet.
I loved yesterday, though. Yesterday was awesome, right? I was really, obviously, the first half was close. It was a back and forth affair. But when we flicked on over and there on the CT side, it was very cohesive. They looked like they were playing off them very well. Everybody's smiling. You saw Simple behind Guardian yesterday as he gave the interview to Frankie, mouthing how good Guardian is. We thought that there might have been a little bit of tension between those two, but it's not to be the case. This could be a very well-functioning team. Trace, you and I even went out onto the tournament floor just to look at the teams for certain points to see how the communication was going. Smiles were on faces. I didn't see NaVi arguing once at all.
Which is bizarre,
isn't it? So don't when you think of NaVi, think about the skill that you've seen from these individuals over their tenure within this roster. Remember them for that, but do not remember them for the same style of Counter-Strike or the same issues that they're experiencing while Zeus was on the team.
How about this for a head-to-head? MSL and Boomich. Now, Jacob, I know you have a mouthful of things you want to say, so let's hear what you got.
I mean, it's an interesting head-to-head, right? It's a experienced in-game leader. MSL, he's been around for, what is it, 5-6 years?
Forever?
Let's say forever. You know, he was there in the get-go with CSGO. Whereas for Boomich, he's a new guy. We don't really know much about him. We don't know what qualities he has as an in-game leader. Maybe he could be the next big thing within the CIS region. Maybe he could take over this NaVi lineup and really bring them up to the top 5, top 3 spot where they can be a contender to win tournaments. Whereas for MSL, I think his main goal right now with this Optic roster is just to make them competitive, make sure that they can qualify for tournaments and be within the pack of teams that are representing, you know, the Danish flags at tournaments. Because so far, it hasn't been looking good for Optic. It's been lackluster both in online qualifiers, online tournaments, and the few lanes that released so far.
Hashtag OG or the alternative hashtag NaVi is what you can use to vote.
I'll tell you which one I'm using
right now. I know which one you're going to use, and we don't want to jump ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But I mean, it's pretty much one of these things where we've got our maps, but we've got one team that is certainly just a little bit stronger outside looking in than the other.
Yeah, look, and that's based off one map of Counter-Strike that we've seen them play, right? So obviously I am getting ahead of myself, but the potential of this team, and just based off what Jacob was saying about Boomich, you have to think, even when Zeus was on the team, what Boomich was doing was going for a lot of information plays on the CT side. It was very valuable what he was doing. Now we know he goes for the entry frags on the T side. We saw some yesterday on the T side of Overpass. He would be in a pack with Guardian, Simple and Electronic were in a pack, and Flamey would just cover the flank. That right there is scary.
It is scary, but now is also the time I asked Jacob why Optic Gaming is going to lose this game.
They're going to lose because NaVi is just a better team. I am a little bit curious to see how they're going to lose, though. Is it going to be 2-0? Is it going to be 2-1? I don't mind, you know, I do firmly believe that NaVi is going to win it, but the fact that NaVi's pick is Dust2, a map they played 4 times, I believe, with Zeus the past 3 months and lost all 4 times. They lost 3 times in Cologne, they lost once at the Major, yet this is the main pick for them coming into this tournament. Something must have been going on the practice server, and that's what I'm willing, and that's what I want to see right here from NaVi.
You want me to tell you what's going to go on with their Dust2?
I want you to do it within 1 sentence on Dust2 about NaVi.
Guardian, Simple, Double Orb, GG, thanks for coming.
That's it. It could be that simple.
That's easy.
And it probably will be that simple. It probably will be simple that gets it done here against Optic. I'm going to have to side with the side of NaVi as well because, I mean, it just kind of makes sense, you know, in a way.
We sold you.
Let's ride the hype train and let's ride it right into the wall right here as we look at the Twitch chat results, which are what we're going to have up next, and see what you all thought at home, because I know that you're sitting there probably in your underwear eating cereal and putting
Why are they always eating cereal?
Because that's just what people do.
At all times of the day.
Eating cereal. There's no... Is there a wrong time to eat cereal? Either?
True.
You normally eat cereal at breakfast.
What kind of cereal do you eat?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cocoa Puffs?
Nope.
They don't call them that there.
They don't?
No, they call them something else.
Oh.
We actually... No, I think we
That's
do. That's a thing.
You got Cocoa Pops as well?
Yeah.
Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, we call them Cocoa Pops.
Wow, that's... I don't know what that off-brand is. But, yeah, I mean, regardless, let us know what you're eating. Probably not cereal. Maybe
Take
it
a
is
photo.
cereal.
Instagram us.
Yeah.
Use the hashtag. What's the hashtag, Trace?
The hashtag is DHMasters. That's what you should be using right now.
Get activated.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got on all social media platforms. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about what is this matchup, because there's one coming on here, and one of these teams really will be in the driver's seat.
We got more time.
Yes.
Oh, that was nice.
Yes, it's true.
I'm glad they gave us more time.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the potential of this NaVi double op though, right? Because before on Dust2 it was just Simple, and then like Flamey would pick it up and do the secondary. Now, no offense to Flamey, he was doing an okay, he was doing a serviceable
doing a good job.
But if I can have Guardian and Simple on the CT side double op, right? They're constant. They can play spawn base. They can be moving around. You've got Electronic anchoring a bomb site. Hey, Boomich, you just worry about long, bro. Hey, Electronic, you just stop them rushing B. In between, what we're going to have is Flamey, you just set us up, and then the other 2 oppers can just move around.
I will say though that the double op, you know, potent is also potent on the Optic side. You have
No.
Cajun, yeah, you have Cajun B, and don't tell me he's not one of the best CT oppers on Dust2. What you've seen from him time and time again, even in his bad period when he was playing playing in Astralis. There was even a period where he took over the op from both Device and Kerrigan on that lineup because he felt, or the team felt, that he was the best.
How many years ago was this, Jacob?
It's 2 years ago, but he still got it. He still got it.
And you're going to put MSL, Potent? You're putting MSL and KGB in the same sentence as Simple and Guardian.
All I'm saying is that on the CT side of Dust2, I think Cajun can do just as good a job as potentially Simple and Guardian can with that AWP. He's super, super good at it, so I don't think that's where they're going to win the game. I think it's electronic. I think it's the rifle power that's going to outmatch them. Sorry.
Well, let's not detract the fact that, you know, Cajun B hasn't been here the whole time. He actually took a little bit of a hiatus over in North America for a bit.
Yeah, you know how Guardian had an interview the other day where he said that the whole last year was a waste of time?
Yeah, I did see that. Didn't want to bring it up, but now that we're here, yes, he did say that his whole past year had been a waste of time within FaZe, which is...
I was going to say the same thing could be said for the time that Cajun spent in Cloud9. But look, when he said that about the whole FaZe situation, that's understandable, right? We all understand what he's meaning with that sentiment, that they just were changing through so many players that it was, they couldn't build on anything. But now he can build on something.
Right, and he was saying that every other tournament they'd have to play with someone else. Look, man, Jacob, I'd love to just keep going down this road. We'll go talk about it somewhere else. In the meantime, let's jump into what is the first map of this series with our commentators who are ready to go, and they are never, ever shying away from the opportunity to get that good-ass smile on their face. It's Machine and Henry G.
Good-ass smile.
You have got one.
I don't really know what a good-ass smile looks like. I'll try it out. Thank you so much, Trace. I'm Machine, he's Henry, and this is our last best of 3 of the day. Optic NaVi, the guys have framed it as a case of we only saw one best of 1 from NaVi. We got to see that overpass, but there is so much more to be seen now. We have this map pool established.
Yeah, it's interesting that Dust2 comes through. Never really been a mainstay for NaVi overall, especially when Zeus was in the lineup. But as Jacob said, surely some practice has been going on. They've got much more firepower available to them now. I've been so impressed what Boomich is presenting at this tournament. He's been fantastic. Sure, we've only seen one map, but he was so influential yesterday. Really enjoyed what he was doing. True in-game leader, going around the map, finding space, getting information, and fragging hard as well. He had 20 frags at the end of the first half yesterday. Really, really strong performance. And yes, Optic have got their work cut out for them. They had a great result yesterday, taking down Liquid, but a hamstrung one. They didn't look their usual self for sure, suffering the same fate as EG potentially in terms of the jet lag situation. But overall, I'm definitely going to lean towards NaVi here, but it's such a question mark. We have no idea what Dust2 holds. And there it is, MSL in the middle, performing once again at a DreamHack Masters event. Managed to even get an MVP here before. We'll see if he can replicate that form once again. He's had a sensational tournament so far, and we'll get into a T-side start for NaVi. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be an absolute banger of a game. NaVi the favourites, but Optic looking pretty plucky themselves. We will see a PT50 go in the hands of Simple with armour as well. Always good to see, Alex.
Yes, indeed. A P250 so much more powerful at that long range.
Yeah, normally suggested going towards long, but with no smoke for crossover, that's been used for Xbox, suggests they'll actually head towards short. It's Nico who will be holding towards that position. Doesn't connect the first shot, but still willing to take duels.
Well, it's connecting. First body dropped, it's Config. Optic do feel the pain of Electronic through middle. He'll go ahead and scavenge away at P2K to continue the rest of this round. 3 remain. Testis alongside Nico and Cajun. He is the primary pillar on A. He's going to have to do a whole lot, actually. He's going to be tested from short. There isn't too much utility, and Molotov will flush him out. He's going to be forced to go wide. He can't hit the shot. Not a single one. Boomich with one lodge in his shoulder, but from behind, Nico strikes. If he gets the second, it's game on. Boomich gone. Now a 2 versus 2. This round has just been ripped from beneath NaVi, and it's extended. Nico, that's his 3rd in this round alone. What a way to start. Electronic, though, looking to find the remaining 2. This would be 4 frags in total for him from long. It's a hard adjustment to make. It is the 1v1 he was hoping for, but Cajun's quick, and that's the first.
What a recovery that was. Optic Gaming lose the first 2 frags. The bomb's going down. Then Nico with the flank from short. We've seen that a lot recently in pro play. Short being overlooked and multiple frags in that position. He managed to get 3 in total. They weren't the cleanest, but he really made up for it towards the end. First was great. Second got a little bit dicey. Pulls it off. And then manages to get a really clean shot here towards Flamey. 1-0, but bomb down. You know that NaVi are going to be force buying this second. We're going to see the Krieg for Electronic, Scout for Guardian, and Simple with the Deagle armor, now with an AK-47.
Yeah, that's an AK on Simple, a Krieg on Electronic, and a Galil on Flamey. When you think about it, that's all of the firepower NaVi need.
Yeah.
Coming into the second round off the back of a loss, this is the power of the second round T-buy. Let's see if Optic Gaming can handle this. They've got themselves 3 SMGs. The advantage in terms of rifles is firmly in the team that just won the pistol. Electronic's going to investigate through doors. Nico with his M4. One of the few that Optic have presented here in the second round, yet to die after his heroics in the pistol. Config's going to set him up. They will evade that flash, and he continues his swing, walks straight into the Lion's jaws, and they clamp shut.
Lovely stuff. Early pick. That's going to be Nico going down. They don't opt for the mid control. Just going to be waiting towards the mid doors here. Simple. Opportunity to strike, but the incendiary will send him packing a little bit there. Decent HE grenade towards short, courtesy of MSO. Those two some chip damage there, but they're making their way up very quickly. He has not got the weapon for the job here. UMP waiting at the A ramp. He does get the first kill. Not bad at all, but the bomb will be planted.
There's nothing he can do about that one, at least not safely. He'll wait for the rotate to come in. Cajun and Config are on a rather fast rotate. They may have overlooked Simple. Oh my god. Just like that, the round is over. Simple confirms it. Flamey will find the final frag. That is huge. And NaVi bounced straight back after conceding the pistol.
That's insane from Simple. He was using the sound cues towards those mid doors. Here's the rotation come through. It looks like they detected him after he missed the first shot, but he makes up for it. They line up for him, a double kill, both of them headshots. Guardian getting to penultimate frag there. So we round 3, and presumably the force buy from Optic here. 2 scouts and 3 pistols. Not quite as exciting as the force buy from the NaVi side.
No, that's for sure. It's going to be really tough. Testis has got very little to hold long should they continue this advance. Good damage, though, for both teams. Electronic and Guardian both down to 60 respectively. And Estelle's going to go for a very aggressive push. What's he up to? Into tunnels with his scout. And Simple's done exactly what he did the round prior. A double kill with his AK. Makes this round almost impossible. I say almost, but that's because they haven't got the control of the site just yet. But long does seem to be their objective. And Testis, he's only got a deagle to keep hold of it. He will hear the steps, hear the flash, know they're crossing, and can't really say much about it. Nico, however, can. Just one bullet lodged into the thigh of Boomich, and the round now over. That was their shot, and what a shot it was from MSL. My goodness, it's something, but it's not enough for a round.
Yeah, manages to take out Electronic, but that's about it. Cajun B left at the scouts here. It's going to be 2-1 NaVi for sure. Can he take anyone down with him? I don't think so. In an awkward spot, they're going to be full eco into the next round as NaVi look to finish things off here. Don't have to necessarily go hunting for him. He's only got the scouts here. They've got much stronger weaponry to give away. But they do have Simple waiting towards the B tunnels here. Cajun B trying to dig himself in towards the bomb site, as he does know there's a potential chance he will be pushed.
Simple throwing out the dribble smoke just to play around and continue this hunt for Cajun B. It's very unlikely Cajun's even going to keep hold of this scout. My goodness, yeah, it's been found. That will be Simple finding his 3rd frag. The final one of round 3. Puts Optic into the most brutal of circumstances. They're almost going to have to give this one for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't really invest much more than a P250 at the very top end here when you have $2,000 per player. Might not even spend a single dollar here. They have not. No smoke for the cross. It means they'll telegraph their play towards middle. So they're going to have 3 players waiting towards the mid doors. So this is quite interesting. They're trying to suggest there's only 2 players there, but they have got close towards the doors now. Maybe a stack coming in as the smoke has come down from the T side. Boosting up. NOA boost behind the smoke.
Electronic gets an earful of information. Had to relocate, goes hunting, and pockets $600. Looking for more as well, catching Testis. He won't be able to escape scar-free. But everyone so loud, the elephants of Optic will concede. Just going to be Simple bringing that bomb around from short. This one will slowly be closed down. I say slowly. Guardian did feel the heat and just tucks himself in for his teammates to finish things off neat and tidy. So, NaVi 3, Optic 1, map 1 of this best of 3. This is a winner's game. Optic, of course, picking up a huge victory in order to get here. We saw, of course, the NaVi game versus North. And Optic Gaming, it was a win versus Liquid. 16-9, didn't even let the North Americans reach double digits. Oh, that's precise from Flamey. No scope necessary, just a quick flick.
Yeah, I love that. Really nice play. Dust2 long spawn prevails once again. Cajun B will be the victim of it. MSL, the AWP. It was a DreamHack Masters Stockholm where he really showed us what he's capable of with that weapon. We'll see if he can start to get going here. For now, it's a glass cannon orb. Not ideal. No armor, no nades, no kits on the CT side. A hamstrung by at best flashes towards middle as they continue their push towards A. It's Electronic focusing towards middle once again. Could finish up towards B here. They've got Simple towards the tunnels waiting for the flanks, and MSL flashed off once again. Nothing connecting for him. They know he's on the A side of the map. That might force him into the B split now, Alex.
Okay. They have the smokes necessary. 2, Flamey and Guardian. And 2 more on Simple and Electronics. So much more to be thrown.
Yeah, they know there's unlikely there's a double AWP set up here, so this is a decent call. It's Config waiting. At the mouth of the tunnel here, you can see him boosted. It's a strong position, difficult to get multiple frags here, but you can get one and drop off and call for a flashbang from your teammate. Like that from MSL. Great shot on Electronic. That's the one, drops down. Can he find multiple kills here? There it is, just the one, but still a 3 versus 3. He's kept them in the round for now.
If Nico's quick, he can do some damage. Oh, so can NaVi. Wow, he gets a face full of shrapnel. And the bomb can go down. It will be Guardian.
Remember, no kit here, Alex, but MSL doesn't seem to be slowing him down whatsoever. Glass cannon all working out fantastically well until Guardian somehow gets them completely blind. 2 players towards the window. Guardian's going to face it eventually, but Nico ready and waiting. Simple, the world's best, challenging now. He's got 14 HP. Can he hold on? Oh my goodness, you better believe he can. 3 kills in total. Look at MSL, did more than enough there, but still, painted into a corner. Simple delivers the goods.
That's crazy talk. If Guardian, when Flash didn't pull that trigger, MSL hits that shot, he had a moment to spare. Let's see that from Simple. 9 HP, still taking that angle aggressively. He knows that if he tucks himself in, Tessus can just shoot him through the bricks.
Yeah, ridiculous. Well, another eco now. 4-1 down, Optic. They'll have a very difficult round in front of them. Deagle's out in 3s, a couple of P250s as well. Long control for Guardian, already made his way out towards blue box. Simple to back him up as well. Simple has the AWP this round, and it's the first kill for Flamey. Precise as you like, takes Config down.
So poised for a quick 5th. Getting Guardian back on that AWP. That's the plan with this roster change. Missed shot for now. Tessus was in somewhat of a surprising position, so can't be faulting Guardian too much for that one. Quick adjustment was necessary. MSL could get one here. The flash is not quite good enough for Electronic to be stopped. Tessus, however, good connection on the Deagle. Nico goes down. They know there's another one to be found, and Flame's having no issues. Quick connections onto the head, leaves Cajun. Yeah, and I think that's a good sign of things to come. A Deagle won't do much. Oh, shut me right up. Boomich eliminated, puts Cajun in a 1 versus 3. They have left the bomb at spawn, so this round will go longer than perhaps anticipated. He hasn't heard that plant, which perhaps is enough for Cajun to work this out, but Guardian, oh, he solved it.
That's nice. He's like, no, what, boys, don't worry about the bomb. I'll just go take him out. No
Yeah.
problem at all. 5-1. Double AWP setup potentially coming out here. We'll see if that's on the agenda for Optic. I feel like MSL was doing a decent job with the single AWP, so they probably don't need it just yet. And we'll see if he can continue his good form. We get into round number 7, 5-1. All for Guardian this time. He'll be holding towards T-spawn, actually jumping down aggressively with Boomich. He looks to get up short quickly. Double flash through. Should send Config packing, but he will hear the footsteps and fire off some shots. He needs to be very careful now. He will fall back. Faster approach here for NaVi potentially. Already have short control. The Molotovs are exchanged towards a short position. Config. Very brave here to challenge towards this position. Flashbang goes over. Does spot one, decides to fall back towards B.
No need for an Xbox smoke, just 2 flashes and holding W gets them short control so quickly. Electronic has that control and will hold it for the most part. I think he's got Tessus to go down before he can start thinking about it. Oh, he had a chance for Boomich, very quick. And Guardian stopping MSL in his tracks now. Long open, they can start to pinch there. I think this is just going to be the save call, yeah. That's another round in the bag for NaVi.
When you kill 2 players at the start of the round like that, you can almost guarantee short's going to be clear. There we have it. They already had short control as well due to that quick pounce down towards the T-spawn position. And now it's just a matter of anyone will survive at this stage. Bomb's going to go down any second. Guardian's going to recover that. And the hunt begins. They've got plenty of time to suffocate these last 2 remaining CTs. Cajun and Config cowering in the back of the B bomb site. Plenty of money on the T side. You can see Flamey with $10,000. Same story for Simple. They want to make sure that nothing is taken into that next round. Have they got flashes as well? They absolutely do. At least one of these players is going down, if not both. Relentless from NaVi.
This is going to be quite the stranglehold. They're starting their push. Electronic and Flamey. Guardian's going to join the party as well. Here they come, and the bomb's still only half gone. Flamey falls, they know where one is, they start to piece this together, and Boomich finding Config leaves Cajun B in a rather tough spot. He's got 3. He's doing a great job of keeping NaVi honest, but Simple will take his weapon away, and that has so much more impact.
Yeah, it certainly does. Had they saved both the rifles there's a potential buy actually available, the maximum loss bonus, but absolutely not anymore. Everyone averaging $3,400. Cajun B, 4,700 after 3 kills in the previous round. Boomich and Guardian, it's absolutely mauling the CT defense there. It's lovely to see Guardian performing on Dust2. Guardian with the long spawn as well, doesn't get much better than this. He's going to have a challenge as well, coming in from Nico and Testis. We'll see if they can find a Deagle headshot. Flashbang will be coming through, but he's made his way towards blue box already. The cross coming through, gonna nail that one, no doubt about it. Looking for the second here, doesn't even get a chance as Boomich completely destroys them. It's gonna be a 5-on-2 very quickly indeed. This is just a partial buy from the CTs. They got Deagle and Kevlar, but it's quickly dispatched by NaVi, no problem whatsoever. Wow.
Yeah,
clinical.
They've got their individuals online early here, there's no doubt. The spray from Boomich would look so easy. Very graceful stuff from him, admittedly up not against a full buy, but still able to transfer quickly to the second. And now the buy comes in from Optic.
Yeah, they haven't really had a chance to do anything with this yet. Very early days. T-sides normally run away with the Dust2.
NaVi's money is just absurd now.
Yeah, it's getting out of control, isn't it? MSL looking for that fast push towards middle again. The flashbang will completely catch him off guard. They're going to make their way up towards short once again. He completely is removed towards CT spawn now. Does he know they've already got up towards short? They seem to have an inkling of it. Nice shot from MSL. Continues to find kills here.
Wow.
And there's a double. Great work.
That's huge. He was forced off the position, but he stood his ground. He wasn't falling for that one again. And he hears the drop. He knows there's another one up on for grab. It's a hard shot to hit. Boomich using every trick in the book to try and evade the shot, jumping across. This time Testis has made this round almost a guarantee now for Optic Gaming. Simple and Boomich. 2 versus 5, the round barely begun. So he'll retrieve the bomb and start what will be a rather turbulent campaign. Boomich, not done yet, draws blood. Nico eliminated on CT, puts it in a 2-2 split for the CTs. They will have a quote-unquote fair fight should they group up.
Yeah, well, there's Convict waiting towards the A ramp. Boomich is coming in. Needs to be very careful. If he gets this frag up, he could be in trouble. Spots one and doesn't really have to challenge this too much. Just hold them at bay as long as he possibly can. And now 35 seconds remain. They have one flashbang between the two of them, but it's Simple and Boomich. A potent combination here. Simple will give the bomb to his teammate as he makes his way through with the Krieg. Flashbang is deployed. That's the last bit of utility they have, and he absolutely destroys Config at the crossover now. Anticipating a second player towards the A ramp. No one to be seen though. They have got an open A site, so money in the bag at least for now. $800 gathered. Can they find anything more? They've got Testis to deal with along, but he's down to 46. And another player as we bring it down to a 2-on-2 here. This was a 4-on-2 situation. Starting to fall apart here for the CTs. They do have a kit. MSL will have to be very handy with the AWPs, proving to be so as he finds yet another frag with that AWP. Now 1 versus 1. Simple knows he has a massive advantage up against the in-game leader of Optic. AWP at close range. Can he deliver? It will be an incredibly difficult shot against one of the world's best here.
Oh my
it's
goodness,
such low HP. Who's going to be coming out on top? Of course, it's Simple. MSL did absolutely everything in that round. 3 kills in total, but it wasn't enough.
2 versus 5.
Yeah,
2 versus 5. Yeah, that's the face I'd be pulling too. It's been ripped from them. Boomich, he was the one that took initiative. He then let Simple walk into the site with an precise execution on 2 members of Optic. Good grief. He said, no longer being the AWPer gives me the freedom, and you're seeing some of that freedom manifest itself in a 2v5 here in round 9. Now straight into the 10th, and a broken Optic gets broken even more. Snaps Config over his knee. WWE style. Testis will get caught on that gap, exploited. They could even run boost this one straight over the smoker. Just a boost, never mind, because they can exploit it. Ahead presents itself, and Electronic punishes Henry. This is just an orchestra of Counter-Strike being presented by NaVi.
Yeah, this is one of the scariest individual performances I've seen across the board. NaVi are not slowing down. They're winning every clutch. They're finding every single shot, not missing a beat anywhere on the map. They're 9-1 up. We've only been playing for about 5 minutes.
It's flying by. The run down middle, it's simple yet effective. Pun not intended. The double flashes through the doors, it's been repeated and working.
They've got $16,000 on Guardian, who's fully invested with the AWP. Same story for Simple as well. That's the absolute most money you can get. And they're just running this same approach every time. Get the orb towards the bottom of middle, flash through the doors, and just keep applying the pressure.
This isn't even a map that typically we've seen NaVi play.
No.
I mean, I'm looking at the stats now. In 2019, they've got 4 on record, and they're all losses.
Yeah,
we haven't seen this. Guardian with Boomich calling is enough to change their map pool to the point where they are now stomping on Dust2 T side.
They just look so nimble right now, and agile, I would think would be a good word to describe it. As MSL, he's been fragging reasonably well, but still only 1 round picked up, and that was the pistol.
God, 9 in a row from Natus Vincere. Things will take a slower pace. Tessus actually has got himself in a prime position. Huge advantage when you hold this angle. So we will see what seemed to be an execute, and actually Boomich using the smoke to drop straight down. He catches Nico. They want to pinch her in middle, and how on earth does Config not get to do more than that? Just a dink. Cajun B's in so much trouble. Pressure from all sides. Tessus has solved so many problems for them, though. A double kill through mid. Now Electronics fall, and this should be the second for Optic. I say should. So did the 2v5. And now Simple's got a very, very difficult task ahead of him. He has his weapon of choice, the Krieg.
Timing a little bit off there. He had a chance to get the player through the mid doors. A bomb down in that position. Time just not on his side though, Alex. Yeah. I'm not sure how he makes this one work. He's got the knife out, run towards the mid doors, and surely they'll just be in a perfect crossfire, which they are right now. Simple can't walk into this situation. If he had 20 more seconds, really could do something with it. Or Tess has to be challenged first. He's going to run through the doors, and you know he makes these shots work, but he jumps, and it will be the second there for Optic. Tess is getting 3 in total. Finally, a bit of luck there, as we will have a technical timeout, a chance to catch our breath. We probably all need it at this point. It's been a very fast-paced game, and Simple can't win out in the 2 versus 1.
Config just going to get himself back in the game. He had a slight issue, will be fixed already, so no panic, no threat. But Optic, that was such an important round to win. Now, bookend rounds for the state of affairs at this point. The pistol and just winning the 11th gives them their second.
So a few technical issues. Config puts the headset back on. Those should be back into server very quickly indeed. A fast-paced game so far. Optic with their work cut out for them. Lost bonus really is against them right now. We'll see whether they can start to string some rounds together. Optic 2, NaVi 9. But still plenty of rounds to be played. If they can bring this back to a 10-5 scoreline, that would be serviceable going forward. The unpause is called. Cajun B on the AWP for now. Does MSL have a secondary available? That would be fantastic just to transition into. That's the final form for both CT sides and Dust2, and indeed that will be the setup. As Chad said though, Simple and Guardian versus KGB and MSL. You know which way you're leaning towards in terms of the advantages there.
Well, Pimp doesn't. Giving a whole lot of credit to Cajun B on his CT AWP, so let's see.
Historically, he's right. It's just we haven't seen Cajun B at that level of form for about 3 years now.
Yeah, I think that was the immediate response from Chad was when. Certainly has been a while since Cajun B's been bouncing around Dust2. Pre-Astralis.
Good luck, Testers. A lot of bullets coming your way, but takes minimal damage. Guardian still suspect something's afoot there in the long doors, but falling back, the CTs will recalculate their positions here. Pretty standard setup here, 2 towards long, 1 on the bomb site. Cajun B towards middle, though. Let's see what he can do here. It's a very difficult angle to hold. You're vulnerable to all sorts of flashes and peaks from the lower B position as well. Needs to be very careful of that.
Something Guardian said in his interview, alongside the waste of time statement that are definitely easy to grab hold of, was that he feels more comfortable calling in Russian. Something we were theory crafting about, but he does feel like much more
well, he was
at
in
home.
NaVi for 2 years or so beforehand, so presumably that's it. Like, it's a very different system. I know they call it numbers instead of actual call-outs, so that's how I used to call in Source as well, if I'm not mistaken. That's a throwback, but I remember them saying that.
Let's see how this one works out. Config, he will hear the pre-fire, but there is another corner to be shot at. And oh no, Cajun exposes himself early. There's so many opportunities for Config, but they're just taken from him.
That looked like he was in the perfect spot there. Apparently not. Boomich is so sick.
He's nuts. He really is. It's another one for the list. Simple, Electronic, Boomich, Flamey, between them, they've all got 10 frags, 3 separating top from bottom aside from that. Monstrous performance coming out from the new leader of NaVi. He has huge shoes to fill.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's going above and beyond expectations, to be honest with you. The way they're playing right now, it's really on point with today's game, and the fact he's fragging as well. Like, this is a new look for NaVi. You think back to them historically, they're a very slow team, wasting their clock, and this is anything but. They're getting the bomb down before we've even got to the 1 minute mark most of these rounds. Just running around as a wolf pack almost, and it's taking every frag. No one's missing any shots. There's no weak links in this team whatsoever.
Let's see that from Boomich again. Not only does he get CageandB, but he's clearing these corners, and bang!
Pre-fire.
Just like that. He's pre-firing, yeah. He's already adjusting and starting to click. But you say today's game, I mean, there's no one that's going to have a more refined idea of how today's game looks than Boomich. He's come from the developmental stages of Counter-Strike. You know, he's been clawing his way up. You have to be on top of the meta to catch the sleeping dogs.
Oh, it's another great shot from Flamey. He gets the player towards the pit. That's going to be Tessus. Had a rough time in that position so far, and understandably so. We'll see now if round 13 will find them any luck. It's not looking too good, but CageandB's Deagle is looking fantastic, actually. Config 3 kills to his name. They haven't had many opportunities to even find kills here. They've got the advantage for now, but no weapons recovered, Alex.
Okay, Electronic. Has the timing right with the frag. Oh, so good for Cajun. Optic, they've had advantages like this before. The weapons don't favor them. This is so doable for NaVi. And Nico's made it even more possible. It's Flamey, has to go clutch. He has the Desert Eagle. Nico, 1 bullet will do. Down to 30, but still Flamey fighting.
No bomb, but 50 seconds remaining. Possible for Flamey, but not looking good. They're going to recover weapons now on the CT static, but an AWP for Config. And a CageandB Krieg. Bomb will be gathered by Flamey. There's no kits, no armor on Config. He has to play this one to perfection to stand a chance here, Flamey.
Makes his choice.
If he can take down the AWP first, that'd be idyllic. We'll see what he can do.
So Config's going to be bringing that AWP up long. Cajun crawling from CT. Tucks himself into Gandalf, and as Config fires off a shot, that will be enough information for Flamey to piece together where one is coming from. They group up. No armor. If he takes that first shot, he has advantage!
Oh!
Config just bangs him straight through!
Oh, okay, that will do it.
That works.
That was like the only way they were going to win the round. Without the kits there especially, that was going to get to the point of no return. 5 more seconds would have done it. But he somehow gets a shot through Gandalf with 1 bullet.
That's all right. Oh, process of elimination. He takes a shot in the dark. Or a shot into Gandalf. I don't know if he had the information necessarily. No, he didn't. Just lined it up.
Oh, through the bomb side box
shot,
too.
Config.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
That's one to remember for those of you watching.
Yeah, what a lineup that is. Well then, still plenty of money for NaVi. They're not going to have to take a single eco in this half so far. That looked inches away. As Guardian rattles off a shot through the double doors there. Flamey challenging along once again. Drops the smoke and willing to go through, and it's going to be an equal trade, so one that works out for them.
Gives them long control. Whether or not they'll profit from that is a different question. For now, very heavy investment and lean into that side of the map. They've got some Simple responsible for middle. And they're going to try and set Guardian up in towards that pit. In fact, he's already there. It will be Nico on his M4, who currently is going to be locked by Guardian's AWP. Can't really move too much, at least not without a threat of a Guardian flick. And by leaving him in long, after taking that control, they've been able to rotate through safely, spawn into Ton. Guardian's trying to make this look convincing. Throwing his nades has pulled Config over. It leaves CageandB alone on B here, Henry.
He's got a great position, though. He's playing very well, CageandB. That's remarkable. What a fantastic little sequence that was. Very calm and controlled. CageandB lights them up in towards those B tunnels. It's a 4 versus 1 as they start to get on their feet here on the Optic side. Very convincing round, but still the half is still eluding them. 10-4. They can get 11 on the NaVi side. They're poised to take this first map. Cajun. No smoke, no flashes against him. They challenge 1 by 1, and he's more than happy to oblige. Take them all down with him. I
mean, that's when the scoped weapons are in a class of their own.
Yes.
You really can just be so precise with your opening shot that it just looks so damn easy. Tapping away at 3 individual fights presented to him by NaVi. Last round, first half.
Quick one.
Second series, yeah, it's been a flying half from NaVi. My goodness, what was that streak of rounds? It was 9, wasn't it?
After losing the pistol, no less.
This has been quite a constant battle, a war of attrition between Tessus and Flamey.
Yeah, that's been quite the battle, hasn't it? MSL has had a decent game, living up to the expectations of the AWP. Historically not known to be an AWP, but the last year or so really picking it up and doing very good work of it.
They've got Guardian set up to some degree here. The flash take, though, does put him into the corner. He's going to be getting a lot hot very fast, but Electronic keeps him alive. Did Guardian go down? Yes, he did. Burns. Tessus, in the meantime, wins his duel versus his nemesis, Flamey, putting us into a 3 versus 3 around the mid-round. 60 seconds.
Occasion B leaves the B bomb site open for now. Needs to work out what the next play from NaVi is. They're going to rotate Nico in towards CT spawn. Only one Molotov left here, and that's in the hands of Simple. He deploys it towards the back of the B platform. Nico making so much noise, the Molotov is enough to drag him out of that spawn position. Now they have a 3 versus 2. They know exactly where Tessus is as well. He is the walking wounded towards CT spawn, and now Electronic setting himself up a smoke. He's just going to apply the pressure. Simple knows exactly where this player is, but does he know that A is actually open here? His player, Boomich, making his way up towards the A ramp at this stage. He's got a guaranteed kill here. There it is. Lovely work. 3-on-1. Occasion B, the B player, doesn't stand much of a chance here. 11-4 looking pretty much locked in, even with 10 seconds on the clock. The bomb is being planted.
Yeah, and still fresh in their memory is the round before. Cajun B holding B the round prior this time, trying to rotate from it. NaVi are looking so damn good. We're going to see if they can close this out or if Optic have got a good T-side in store for us. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello. Before we go to the break, Alex, I've just headed down to the player area. You might have thought, given the last matches when we had 2 NA teams playing on the A and B streams, that we'd be hearing more and more noise, but actually it's eerily quiet here. The focus is on with NaVi. They're quietly confident, and over in the Optic gaming booth, I have a feeling Cajun B is just getting started, and we'll find out very shortly indeed.
We interrupt Kenny staring deep into your soul with an important announcement. It's time for more Counter-Strike. CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö continues with NaVi versus Optic Gaming. Our machine, he's Henry, and NaVi are looking so damn good. Coming into the defensive side, no less, of our first map of this series.
Yeah, off to an absolute flying start here, but it's to be expected on the T side of Dust2, but that was a very special performance, I have to say. A technical approach here, you'd expect no less here from Optic. They've got themselves 2 smokes, flashbangs, HEs as well. Interested to see where they're going to drop those HE grenades. It will be in the hands of Cajun B and MSL. They're currently towards the B tunnels, and in they come. No damage done, unfortunately, for them. So that's $600 gone. Electronic watches towards lower B, and is the sort of shots he connects on this time, not so much. Cajun B down to 15, no courtesy is Simple.
Going to reaggress, great flashbang. They're both tucked into the corner. Electronic's not going to press the issue and config through long. Now they have access. However, Electronic and Simple are doing what Electronic and Simple do best. Headshot! No! Simple! He's trying to send him home ASAP. He doesn't even blink. Electronic's got a smile on his face. Can't blame him.
He's just acting like that's the most normal round in the world. That's absolutely godlike. That's one of the players of the tournament so far.
Hell.
And he's just there, just like, yep, round done, boys. Got it done. No worries.
That's the 12th secured by NaVi.
Let's close this one out.
This is a winner's game. Lower bracket is on the cards for the loser of this one. But NaVi, my God, that is quite the statement. Let's not forget, the pistol round was one of the few shining lights of Optic's first half. This time, they don't even get that. Now Electronic's looking to really twist the knife. They don't bring anything into this round, and they're just going to make it clean, quick, and efficient. 2 remain. Nico, however, makes that Glock work. That's something. They won't be able to pick up the rifle, but a bomb plant and a kill with a full eco?
Oh, they'll take that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's all they wanted out of that round. Rushing short. If you can trade out at least 1 kill, you're likely to get the bomb down. It was scrappy, but that's $800 extra per player on the Optic side. Problem is they have to win this next round. Give this one up. They're in a lot of trouble. It won't be the best of buys here, but they can squeeze out an AWP if they really want it. They've got $5,400 at the top end. Nico, with that amount of cash, opts against it. They're going for a full buy of rifles across the board and utility. And so they'll also have a firepower advantage to go into round number 18. 13-4 though. So much work to be done in this first map of the best of 3. Upper bracket, remember, no one going home here. Optic managing to best Liquid yesterday. Fantastic work. And we'll see whether they can get themselves back into this Dust2 affair, not looking good right now. Lower B, main point of attack here. Up against 2 SMGs, have done significant damage towards Simple and Boomich.
A flash and a clear enables them to get onto Xbox without too much of a threat. Don't have to invest a Molotov or anything of that ilk, instead just the flash. More resources for the take. There are so many nades still for Optic Gaming. How are they going to approach this one? Rather default as such. 1 long, 1 tons, and 3 through mids and short.
Well then, pace slows down somewhat here with Optic on the T side. This is the pick of NaVi, bear in mind. It's Nuke coming up next. That's going to be Optic's playing field. I'm sure a much different game will ensue there. It's a different pace on the map, much more technical. And that's where they'll thrive. Still have a chance to get back into this one, of course, but time is running out. 40 seconds this round in particular. Smokes towards middle. Flashbang coming in from Simple as he tries to hold them off. Always got a great lineup. Does significant damage to 2.5 players there. But overall, they're making their way towards B, and it will be Flamey locked in towards the corner of a UMP.
Just so far off the weapon. It's supposed to use, and wow, that's not bad. Finishes what Simple started onto Nico, leaves Cajun and Testis. Numbers favor NaVi, and the numbers are being punched in as well. This is going to be a tough one. Testis down to half. They regroup, and they readdress, ready to re-assault B. Testis, he's got to get more than one here. Great precision from him. Tucks himself in. He knows there's more, but Guardian so quick on that shot leaves Cajun looking to clutch and find the fifth. That's great work from Cajun B. 2 necessary frags, and so good he had to rip his headset off.
Yeah, how's he got the headset off so quickly?
That was so quick. From the left,
an unusual celebration.
His hand comes from his mouse to his headphones in a matter of seconds. That was a very precise kill onto Guardian. It had to be a fast one.
Sick shot on the second as well. Don't necessarily expect that from him. That's really, really well played. Well then, 13-5.
Game on.
Yeah, we're into it now. There's going to be a force buy here from the CT's Guardian on the AWP. A couple of sewing machines out in the form of the MP9. Electronic and Flamey to wheel those, and great first kill from Testis. They're going to have long control here.
Gives that one up. You can see Testis was holding that smoke. He was ready to extinguish a fast Molotov to enable his teammates to get out fast. Contest versus the dodgy buy. It's not dodgy for Guardian, though. He's got himself his AWP and his Kevlar. He's operating at full capacity. And that's worrying. That's scary if you're an Optic player. Advancing down long. Oh, they lined up for a moment, and Guardian, he won't get a second chance. Config eliminates him, and this round should be Optic's to lose. Flamey, however, catching Cajun on the lurk, leaves 2. Electronic will try and join his teammate Flamey, and no Molotov to be seen. Just flashbangs, and so 1 fast high. And now it's time for the second. Perhaps even backing away. Looks like they're thinking better of it. They've got such a large cushion, why not just have another shot at it with the saved rifles next time?
Yeah, absolutely true. Well, a chance for Optic now. Managed to get themselves a couple of rounds in a row in the nick of time before things got out of control. NaVi's money won't be in a fantastic position, but they will have at least a couple of rifles into the next round. Optic can't really justify the hunt here. Their money's pretty low themselves. They'll tuck themselves in towards the pit, away from the explosion of the C4 on the A side. It's going to be the AWP enhancer or MSL. Long control at the very start of the round works out nicely for them.
Okay. So that's a successful experiment from Optic. They get 2 together. 1, of course, the 1 versus 2 from Cajun B. And it's a conversation we have yet to have is the power of the NaVi timeout now. Not necessarily just in Masters, given the fact that the coach mics are unmuted during every freeze time, but Blade, full control of the NaVi roster. It's a very exciting prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a long time coming as well.
Yeah.
It seems like he is the perfect fit for this squad, and it's exciting to see the playstyle coming through as well here. Speaking of exciting, here's Electronic. He snuck through from the short push, and they might be expecting this, but either way, it was a decent push, but Nico somehow comes out on top there. He'll go down to the low HP and Guardian Sunfor as well. His iconic P2000 in hand, but surely going to be dealt with in due course. Actually doesn't really get taken down at all. He's got 18 HP and off he goes.
They knew they had to make a play. They're sending Electronic up middle. It did look like the perfect way in. Nico brought down low, but such a good adjustment from the Dane. Keeps that man breathing. Down to 11, though. And so he's just going to take a headshot angle. His health is completely irrelevant in an angle like that. keeps the CTs contained on long. And this round, simply a formality, at least it should be. Flamey's the only one with a way to fight back. Admittedly, Simple has his Deagle, but all of those that I've just listed are on the other side of the map to the bomb and the majority of Optic.
Here we go then. Should be quite the easy procedure here for Optic. I would imagine Boomich being boosted up in towards CT spawn. They're currently on short with the bomb as well. 5 versus 3. Flamey still with the AK-47. Could be enough to win the round, but the A side is completely open at this stage, so don't expect anything too crazy to occur here. Molotov towards the site. They're being very methodical here, making sure that everything is under lock and key. Nico patrolling towards middle.
Right spot. Can't hit the right shot. Round should be theirs though. 10 seconds left as the bomb goes down from Tessus. It's going to be Cajun with a couple of opportunities here. A bit of a multi-frag on the cards. And oh my goodness, that nade could catch Guardian. It does. Dunks him. Flamey, the only one with the weapon to preserve, is being hunted down. Cajun's not done. Flamey quickly traded though by Config, and so we will see another round on the board for Optic Gaming. T-Sides and Dust2 does seem to be, I mean, this hasn't always been the case, has it? That we've been seeing, you know, 9, 10 rounds on T-Sides, Dust2. This seems like a new translation.
We'll see if Optic can keep it up. Very early days on their T side. After losing the pistols, the third round forced by with the bomb down on their Glock round in the second. They will find Simple in the end as well. Money still pretty weak for NaVi. They are going to buy up what they can. They managed to get an AWP out, but there's going to be some compromises here. Who will be the one to take it? We'll see if they opt for utility or firepower here. They'll have a distinct lack of utility if they go for rifles across the board. No helmets on 4 of the players. Simple, though, drop the AWP. They have no kits. 2 smokes remaining after the initial one is thrown. No incendiaries. This is a difficult round. They're going to have to try and push for a kill or 2 here. As we'll see, Electronic defending towards shore. He's got Tessus up against him. Flashbang does nothing, and he mows 2 of them down.
That's a huge start for NaVi.
They flashed all the way from top middle towards short there, but it didn't quite catch him at all. He's playing the perfect angle to counter that.
Tessus and Config just immediately nullified. What do you do now? Just forced to piece together some sort of call with what remains, both in utility and players.
Well, considering there's no kits or any grenades remaining on the CT side, this is still possible. It's going to take something very good indeed, but they'll swap over weapons there. Guardian given the AWP at this stage. Very traditional angle for him. We've seen him here many, many times before.
And Simple can go elsewhere. Given to him for the long spawn. They drop towards CT. Simple knows what's going on. So does Guardian. Bomb loose. They're giving it a good shot. Guardian is forced off by the flashbang. He will find more cover. But the chance is now really starting to dwindle for the Danes. They get the boost and the bomb drops. They're going to try and get a plant. With Cajun B falling, it's down to MSL. He's just hoping he can get this bomb down in time. Looking for 800 bucks a piece. He does it. But NaVi will find, I think that's their first. No, excuse me. After the pistol and the conversion, this is their first with weapons, and we will see defuse coming in now. 14 on the board.
Yeah,
Sincere.
that's a round as well. Remember, they had no kits, no helmets, barely any grenades, and all 5 players survive as Electronic with a double spray down towards shore. After Optic game, it looked like they were in a fantastic spot. Shore control was theirs, a flash over the top, but it didn't catch him at all. They do have a decent buy, though, courtesy of that plan from MSL. He knew that's all he could really do with that situation. See that flashbang just popping to the left of his screen there. And there's the final frag coming in from Electronic. Great stuff. MSL gets the plant, but that's about all they get. 14-7. Do or die time now. Can't afford to give this one up. Too early on to give them that point.
That's for sure. A change of early looks from the Danes, though. They send the lower tunnel route. Enable them to get to middle unspotted. No one was scouting it, though, for now. MSL's going to try and set them up. Config more than a glance this time, as the second flash does make it clear that mid-control has been battled for by Optic Gaming.
Now he just sits there and waits. That was their main objective, get Config in position. They'll suggest he's not there, listen out for rotations and hope he's not checked. It's a nice idea, but will it work out for them? Bomb towards short. Nico's trying to transition towards their position as well. So I would assume they're going to execute towards A at this stage and then have Config ready for transitioning players from the B bomb site. Bit of a gamble. If he is detected, it's all going to fall apart very quickly. And here comes a push. They're actually going for the mid-split here, so they're going to change things up the way towards B.
Yeah, and the jump peak from Flamey will be enough for him to start getting some nades out. They are quick though, cowering in the site. It's Flamey and Simple, make it just Flamey, both eliminated. It's Config just to crack open the site. Optic, that could be enough. An 8th on the board just with 2 quick frags and a great call from MSL. Posture A, finish B. Optic Gaming not losing a man on this round. Not over just yet. Boomich was waiting all the way towards the T spawn. He won't be able to escape, but keeping Optic honest at least.
It's our first map of the best of 3. NaVi looking to close things down. Still in a good position to do so, but it's taking a while to get there. And you can only keep 5 players alive before, so money's relatively decent, especially if they can save the AK and AWP. But it's going to be 14-8 now. Optic trying to take this one the distance. 2 players will survive in the end. Another buy available here, but you might want to take the tactical timeout just to decide how they're going to finish this one off. They are buying up with what they can. Electronic drops the M4A4. Simple there, currently sat on 20 frags. Electronic on 23. Those are the names you want at the very top. So far, so good in that respect. No signs of danger as of yet. A few more rounds, though, they might start questioning themselves. Config, very quiet game by his standards. He had a great previous round, took himself up to 11 frags. Haven't seen him be that monster for a while, though.
No, he was such a conversation for, you know, I mean, even thrown around in the list of top players in the world. He had that potential. Has yet to see it realized, though, and I mean, you know, that's in part due to his team shortcomings as well. He hasn't necessarily been on a hard-hitting squad, a top 5 team. Always a threat, though, in the server. That round was evidence of it. Just, I mean, Simple and Flamey, they know you're coming, they're prepared for you, and he has no issues, admittedly set up beautifully by the flash of his teammate. Catches them both.
Well, the unpause will come through. 14-8 the scoreline. Guardian with the AWP. Also a quiet game for him, 11-11, but they've had so much success so far. Not really much of a talking point. Flamey will make do with the MP9 for now. He's heading towards the B site, and he's got a lot of action heading his way. 4 players towards the tunnels right now. MSL takes quite a lot of damage there. Still holding strong though, and doesn't nail the shot, but Config certainly does.
Oh, it's Simple to try and save the day for NaVi. Optic starting to flood in, the smoke arrives, so did the nade, and Simple, he's not done! Oh, he's doing it on his own! It's a one-man army, another one for Simple! B-site is his, he demands the respect. He takes it. 15 for NaVi, 4 frags from Simple, just stopping Optic before they can even get into the site.
How fast do you think you're in his feet? I thought this smoke would just be to retreat, get back towards the bomb site, but he uses that gap. They have no idea it's coming, and look how precise he is. The walking turret, and jumps down the throat of Cajun to finish things off there. 15-8, 7 rounds in a row required now to stay alive here and take us to overtime. They're taking a tactical timeout, $2,000 in testers. Cajun just beneath 4K. There is a buy there overall, but there will certainly be difficult holes to plug as MSL needs to mastermind their next approach here. Mac 10 for Tessers, UMP for Cajun B. Config 3,700 can afford AK armor on the nose. Tactical timeout, of course, and the first they've actually used so far. As you mentioned, the coaches can chime in at the start of every freeze time, so you won't see as many timeouts.
Right. Rugger, full control. At this point, I'm afraid it's not strategy that they're struggling with. It's Simple, at least in the round prior.
He's taking top fragging responsibilities now to 24, like 23. Ridiculous combination.
Yeah, you just can't shoot. You can't, you know, it's like pick your poison.
Yeah.
Potentially the most scary pair of riflers, and then potentially the most scary pair of AWPers. I mean, it's quite the mix NaVi have going on. Guardian and Simple, should they want to double AWP, and if not, the meat grinder of Simple and Electronic on either side of the map. Flash and response. Simple wants to stand his ground, does, with the support of Simple's flash, have Electronic, and we talk about them, they work in perfect unison. Simple with the utility, Electronic with the bullets, and just 3 more remain. The buy's bad for Optic. Close quarters, Simple's trying to suppress, but it's going to be Electronic and Boomich. Just Cajun, and 16-8. NaVi, they shrug off Dust2. Didn't feel like it took too long for the first map to be concluded.
Yeah, it was looking like there was a chance of a comeback there for Optic in the second half after winning that third round via the bomb being planted in the second. But still, it was simple. Electronic applying so much pressure. A perfect game called by Boomich in the first half as well. 11-4, one of the fastest halves you'll see in Counter-Strike, as they look so efficient, so deadly, and so assertive as well. I really enjoyed what they're putting down there.
And it really changes on map 2. The analysts are going to talk all about it. Let's head over to them.
And here we are. Thank you, fellas. You guys always bring a bright, shining star into the room, just being yourselves. Now that I've got all that cutesy stuff out of the way, there was nothing cute about what happened right now just with NaVi and how they were able to just throw an Optic around us, too.
I think NaVi are pretty cute. I like what they're putting out there. That's some of my favorite Counter-Strike. I want to see that all day, every day.
Okay. And...
yeah, I agree. I mean, NaVi were...
Give me with some enthusiasm, Jake.
It's a little bit annoying, right? Because I thought Optic would do better. I thought Optic would make it just a little bit competitive. But as you said, you know, NaVi playing some great Counter-Strike, and it's hard to deal with that. Simple, you know, seems to be back with his old mouse. Electronic playing some of the best Counter-Strike again. And what are you going to do against that?
So they win pistol, right? Optic, everything's looking good. They claw back this round. Then what happens? Oh, hey, Simple, I have an AK. Yeah. I'm going to get these nice 2 kills. Oh, wait, hold up. You have a round that you've managed to get 3 kills and you're sitting in a 2-on-5 situation. Oh, it doesn't matter. Simple's going to just come through and win that one as well. You can try whatever you want. It's fine.
How much is that Simple being too good and how much is that Optic being bad?
No, I don't think Optic played bad. I don't think that, like, I think that when you look, they were able to individually skill in certain rounds. You just saw them there winning a 4 spot. This is Simple on the pistol round here, lighting them up. We saw just towards the end of the game, towards the B bomb site, locking them down. The thing is, you are dealing with freaks of nature as far as it comes to Counter-Strike, and they are looking cohesive, right? They're not looking disjointed. It's not Simple going, I'm going to make a play now. It's him having the kills come to him because they have strategies, they have structure, they have an understanding. They're a different team.
Yes, this is a reinvigorated, not a sincere lineup.
Just like us, Trace.
Yes, reinvigorated. We just had lunch. Shout out to the Max Burger and the sushi joint across the street.
Not
anyway,
sponsors of the broadcast.
Not sponsors of the broadcast. But here we are, victory with NaVi. You can take a look at my numbers, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Electronic and Simple tag teaming yet again. Whereas if we do look at Optic Gaming and the defeat that they had, why don't we just skip all that and talk about their map pick a nuke?
I think Nuke's gonna...
Probably a good idea, really.
There was not too much to talk about from the side of Optic, right? We talked about KGB coming out. He had a decent game, but didn't really get too much done. We talked about Config. He needed to be their Simple, right? He needed to go toe-to-toe against Simple, which is unreasonable to ask for. Yeah. So I agree. Let's move on to Nuke, which is a map where I think it's going to be much harder for Simple. It's going to be much harder for Electronic to go off.
I want to ask a question to you, Jacob, and because I thought the same when we were doing the pregame. Okay. But why do you think that now, right? Like, tell me, because after I just saw that, knowing that NaVi gets to start on the CT side, and then thinking, where is the hole going to be on their CT defense, right? You're going to have to force rotations, but if you can't even make them move because they're just killing you, what are they going to do?
If that's going to be the case, but you know how Nuke normally is being played out,
right?
Yeah, if you have a good set of strats, if you have a good set of basically messing around with that rotation, just doing the outside smokes, then falling back, going inside, you know, it doesn't matter how good you are, you can only get 1 or 2 kills, and if you can play those after plans position somewhat to a high level, I think Optic can scramble a few rounds together on that T side, and that will hopefully make the game competitive, despite Simple, despite Electronic, and who knows, even Guardian going off.
Guardian will be here when we come back, because after the break, I do have another map of this series, one that's going to be deciding factor. Should NaVi win it, of course, Optic really do have the chance to come back here on their map pick of Nuke. That'll be coming up after the break as the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters does continue here live from Malmö.